Here we are again on Snowrunners. No ramp this time, you're alright. Right, so last of the oil rig jobs on the first map of Michigan, and I've got to haul this wee beastie. A long way down the map. Now this actually took me just over an hour, but I've cut it all down to 20 minutes, so there'll be cuts in there and all sorts of weird and wonderful things, so I'll just talk through it. So most of the route is on tarmac roads. I've cleared all the rock falls and put the mountain bridge up just to get this down from the top of the map. So first windy bit downhill, and what I'm doing is I'm going really wide on the corners because obviously this thing's that long, I don't want to hook it up on the inside. And here we have the first of the rockfall passes that are cleared, which is pretty narrow, as you can see. I'm going as wide as I can. I could have gone wider on the entrance, to be perfectly honest, but the thing didn't want to break with that big weight on the back of it. Just squeezed it through. And on we go. Right, we'll cut on now to in cab. Got some speed up. Again, running wide on the corners, and now we've got a bit of a hill and a bit of a dirt track. So one of the problems you've got with these is it lifts the front wheels when you put the power on, so your steering is non-existent really. So down into low range, diff lock, 4-wheel drive on, and we'll drag it up this hill. Again, going wide on the corners, but it's not too bad here. It's flattened off a bit, so back into auto, just get a bit of speed up, and back onto the hill, so back into low, back on with the diff lock. Just trying to pick the flattest route possible because I don't want to tip that trailer over, because you can't right them, they're just too big and heavy. I haven't got a vehicle that can turn one of those things the right way up again. So back into auto, and here we come on the second rock clearance that I did on this road. This one's not as tight, again going really wide. Just getting caught up a bit. Drag it through there. And onwards yet again. So it was all going swimmingly on the main roads. I thought I would have had more problems going through the tighter sections and some of the steep hills, but wasn't a problem. Well, that's soon to change. So we have this bit of a steep hill. It's not massively steep, but you can see how much effort's going into getting it up there. The vehicle's on off-road tyres, upgraded engine. What else have we got on here? The usual bits and bobs. Diff lock and full auto. Cross the bridge, tight bend after it, and a nice rock in the way, so just staying off the power aid just to keep the front wheels down so I can actually steer. Now I've got a bit of an incline here, you'll notice that I'm actually slowing it down. And now we're heading off the main road and into the the troublesome areas, and they were troublesome. So again, we're still in auto, but we're going downhill. The track's pretty solid here. We're just keeping it the speed down. Now I only got stuck in 2 areas, believe it or not, but it took so much time to get vehicles out there to get this thing unstuck, and this is the first of the problems. So there's a berm, a bank on the right hand side. Just as I go up this rise here, I go round, there's a soft verge, I'm right on the edge of it, and water. Of course that bank on the inside, the trailer gets caught on, and that's it, game over. So no winches up front, only winches to my right. So there was lots of shenanigans going on, reversing, pulling the trailer with the towing hook, actually going down that bank on my left. None of it worked. I had to get another vehicle in the end. You get an idea what's happened. It's beached there, you can hear it grinding. It's beached on that bank there on the left hand side, and I can't go wide enough on this corner because there's a soft verge that just drops off into the water on the right hand side. So I try actually going over the berm, see if that cuts it out, staying on the high ground, but it just lifts the front wheels up and kicks the rig left, and we're beached again. So at this point it's plan B. So we'll cut to plan B, so you don't have to watch me going backwards and forwards and trying all sorts of angles. And here's plan B. Yes, the little Scout. So you can see by the time I got to this point it had gone dark, and you get a good idea of the how much light the light bars put out if you put them on your vehicles. So again with this, it was just to add a little bit more traction, and also to bring out a bit of fuel and repair some of the damage that was caused by rocks on the way down to the main rig. So that's that done. Now to attack it from many angles and see. What I'm trying to do is to create a towing point that's straight. See, I can't, those trees are too far away, so the idea was to give it something to hook onto and see if I can just pull it over that bank on the left. Of course the first attempt is just to see if it has got just enough grunt just to pull it. Of course when you do this, the main rig's engine fires up and it puts it in drive as well. Unfortunately it doesn't put it in four-wheel drive and diff. You just get the basic drive on the main rig, which is a problem, but you can get around it if you do it in reverse, i.e. go in the main rig and hook onto the car and tow that way. The car will start up and start pulling you forwards, but it allows you to put all your all-wheel drive and traction control on, not traction control, diff lock. Right, so plan X. I can't hook onto the trees up there, so we'll turn our Scout vehicle into a tree up there that's a bit closer. Plus with it being at a higher level, when you're towing onto it, it's lifting you, which in turn is putting more pressure on the back drive wheels. rather than if you're pulling down, you're just trying to pull the thing through the ground and it's never going to work. So we go to the bit where we get stuck on the bank. And we're just getting stuck, and it just needs that little tickle, just that much. That's all it took, just to get the thing just onto the bank. Yeah, that was about 20 minutes trying to get round one bend. So off we go along the side of the river. So a bit further up. Now this, when I saw it, I thought, there is no way I'm getting around that after the trouble I've just had. So tried to stay on the flattish ground on the right rather than going up that big berm onto this road, and then again going as wide as I possibly can, so I don't get that trailer hooked up on the inside, because again there's a bit of a steep area. And then it's the plan here was to just hit it with everything it's got, because I really didn't want to get stuck on that hill over there. Quick check I was going the right way. So again, staying wide, expecting to get stuck. And that was enough, and the front wheels are back on the ground and we can steer again. And here's the bridge, the final bridge. The destination is the other side of this river, over that a rickety wooden bridge, and this gave me the biggest problems of the run. So again, I can't swing wide onto it, because the edge of the road just drops off into soft ground in the river. And I make it a fatal flaw here. I don't swing wide at all. Realise my mistake too late, then go wide, and the trailer's dropped off the edge of the road. I've noticed that it's starting to lean. If I carry on, I'm just going to roll the trailer into the onto the edge of the river. So back it up, trying to get that wider line, but now the trailer is completely off the road. So again, swinging it out there, trying to get as wide a line as possible. And in doing so, the weight of the trailer has lifted me steering off the ground. I can't turn left, and by the time I realised, I'm basically just hanging in fresh air. So plan Z. The first truck you get in the game, I'll just use it as a service and a fuel truck with a set of all-wheel tyres. It's not got four-wheel drive, but it's got twin axles at the back and a diff lock. So good old yellow, here we go. So I came across the bridge, we tried a few, pulling it backwards, pulling it forwards, all the usual things you'd try. Again, I'm looking for that forward position to pull on, and this had taken forever to get to this point. And that little rock to the right, by the right wheel of the main rig, was the only thing that I had grip with for the main rig. Success. A little bit of movement. So what I'm doing is I've got it in drive, diff lock on, and I'm using the winch to actually pull as well. So I'm digging the vehicle into the ground. That's why I've got the wheels turned sideways. Right, so we missed a bit of recording. So it got it out. I then had to use the truck to get the yellow beast out because it was completely dug in. And this is where we got to. Couldn't quite get it back on the track. But not to worry. I think we were just about at the hour mark at this point. So it's starting to go dark again. So good old Red is back to the rescue. Nearly roll it going round, so just more power. Ride the wall of death. So at this point my only option is it's either going to go across here or I've got to restart the whole thing, because I haven't got anything bigger than these two vehicles. So there was, you know, this is the last option. And this all gets a bit dicey on this little wooden bridge. There's not a lot of traction. So what I'm doing, obviously, is trying not to fall off the bridge. But you'll see in a moment I just go for just feathering the throttle just so it's just on the grip, just here now. If you watch the truck behind, that's just enough to get it going. And once I've started it going, gotta keep going. There's no stopping. So switching to this vehicle so that I can put diff lock on and put it in low range, and I'm going to winch onto the vehicle in front. The vehicle in front will start pulling forwards, and at this point it goes Pete Tong. I just can't get that front wheel to hook onto the bridge. It tries, but I'm committed now, so it's either going across or it's rolling in. But I'm moving, so I'm just going for it. I've not got far to go. Place your bets. That is as dodgy as you want to get. Luckily the trailer's a little bit wider than the truck, and I think it was just touching the bottom, stopping it from rolling. And now the forward vehicle's in the mud, so I'm just trying to clear the bridge and just shoving it up the hill out the way. Success. And finally just dragging it up into position, and of course the yard it's going into is covered in mud, so it's low ratio, diff lock, all-wheel drive, and the end is in sight. So I missed the first pile of stones, which nearly turns me over, and the second one for some reason I just went over. I thought, sod it, we'll do a wheelie across the line. Right, thanks for watching. Absolutely loving the game. Really, really good. Again, this was just the first map and one of the missions. Right. Adios.